in my car. And, okay, doesn't have to be perfect. Hi, my name is Brianna Ramirez Torres. I'm a first generation college student, and I just wanted to make this very vulnerable video and put it out in the rest of the world. So, today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the kind mothers out there. I unfortunately do have a mother, but I don't talk to my mom. It is really fucking sad because as a Mexican, you know, you kind of grow up your whole life thinking that you're gonna be with your parents till the day that you die, and you think that you're gonna have them for the rest of your lives and they're gonna support you. But I unfortunately had to separate myself from them. So I guess let's talk a little bit about estrangement and a little bit about why I chose to separate myself from my mom. And hopefully this helps somebody out there who is, you know, not necessarily Mexican, but someone who has immigrant parents, and it can help them kind of have a different outlook on life, because for a very long time I was serving my parents and it felt like I was only living my life for them, and everything that I did was for them. Like growing up, my parents are immigrants and they were scared of the world. They were extremely scared of everything around them. They would always tell me to never tell my teachers at school that I had immigrant parents, and also like I was told to not speak Spanish. Hold on, I need some water. My lips are like a little pale. But let me see, let me put my glasses on. Maybe that'll help me fucking lock in. Woo! Okay. Okay, so literally, yeah, my whole fucking life I grew up like being fucking scared of the fucking world. Like I was so scared of everything, like everything, like cars, people, laughter, talking, all the human basic needs. I didn't have those. Like I was scared to share those and scared to just live, because it was like everywhere you went was an attack. You live in this world where it is, especially in the United States, you live in this world where you are hated. You are hated, and they don't want you here. Like, even though you contribute so much to society, and you know, you act like, my parents are smart. My parents are that smart, very, very smart. They are good people, but I think the way that the world works, it made them the way that they are, and it made them highly insecure about themselves and their view about the world. And you know, they brought kids into this world, and it's so interesting because growing up, my dad would always tell me, like, go to college, get a degree, like, just so you don't end up like me, working out in the sun, working every day, you know, slaving your butt off. And you know, for a very long time I you know, believed him, and I was like, you know, right, like, great, let me go to school, like. And in high school I was, you know, straight A student. I was really out there fucking doing all that work when I was supposed to be having fun. So now, as a 22-year-old woman, I am barely learning how to live, because I feel like I was a product. Like, I was a product by my parents, and they expected me to do so much. And I still have to live my life after not talking to them. And side note, I do go to therapy, so yeah. This is very vulnerable, and I hope it, I don't know if it is vulnerable actually, but you know, when it comes to living life, I was living my life for my parents. I was living my life to please them, and today, Mother's Day, is another reminder of how much I please them, of how much time and energy that I gave to my parents, and how much time and energy that I gave them. Sorry guys, I'm getting distracted. I don't know if you guys saw those people. Can you guys see those people? Okay, no. But yeah, it's just a fucking reminder of like, it's just a reminder of like, wow, my parents weren't the healthiest, most well-rounded people, but you know, I do blame society. I do blame how the world is structured a little bit, because like, you know, it was like, you know, people around them didn't give them the opportunity to grow, and because of that, they abused me and my siblings physically and emotionally. And the hardest part about realizing that is that nobody came to save me. No one in my childhood came to save me, and it sucks so bad, because it's like every time I would get a bruise and I would get hit, or something would happen, I was told to keep quiet. I was told by my parents, like, don't tell your teachers that we hit you. Don't tell your teacher. Like, if they point out a bruise, like just tell them that you fell. Like, and I can remember specific moments in my childhood where I was just, you know, lying to my teachers about bruises, and you know, people asking me about like, oh, how's your home life, and I'm over here lying to them like, oh, it's good. Yeah, I love my parents. And Mother's Day, when they would make us do like those like Mother's Day things, like for your mom, I thought that I'd be like, my mom does not deserve this. Like, yeah, my mom is actually not the best mom in the world. And that, my ear's a little swollen. I just got this piercing. But literally, like, I felt like my mom did not deserve that. My mom did not deserve those beautiful cards that I was making. And I was just talking to this person recently, and they were telling me like they're in a similar situation. You know, their parents are abusive, and you know, it's like you just kind of grow to live around them, and you kind of just grow to like accept them, right? You kind of just grow around them, and kind of just, you know, you're constantly walking on eggshell. But I'm here to tell anyone out there that you don't have to do that, even though it's really fucking hard. Let me put my seat back a little bit, because I'm gonna get into it. Literally, you don't have to fucking do that. Like, please stop doing that. You don't have to. You don't have to please your parents. You don't have to please nobody but you. And I just had the toughest fucking 2 months of my fucking life. I don't know, not 2 months, like more than 2 months of just ego death, and just realizing how much like the people that I wanted to care about me and love me didn't have the best intentions. They were quite selfish, and that's the hardest part to admit and kind of understand, because like I was literally telling this person that I was talking to, I said it's so easy to keep repeating the same patterns. It is so easy to keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. Like, you can easily become your parents. You can easily keep doing the same cycles because it's like what you were taught. The hard part is realizing that you don't want to live like this anymore, and that, you know, there is a better way to live. And it is all about finding your own beat to the drum. Like Pete the Cat. There's Pete the Cat book's Groovy Guide to Life. Like, I love that video. I mean, I love that book. Literally, like, literally beat your own drum to your own beat. And I've been trying to focus on what I want in the moment, what I need. As someone who's been physically and emotionally abused, it is really hard because it's like you get to a point where you don't even know who you are anymore. Well, I have that point in my life right now. It's like I don't even know who I am, because as a child, everything that I did, everything that I said, everything that I wore, all my ideas, all my jokes, me was ridiculed. I was shamed, and I was told that I shouldn't behave that way. I was told that I shouldn't do those things. And like every time I had an opinion, it was like, you're talking back, you're disrespectful, you're disrespecting me. And it was boom, you get hit. That was at least in my experience. And I'm starting to realize that a lot of Mexicans, a lot of Hispanic households deal with this, or at least from my friends and the people around me. It's like, it's very common for us Hispanics to get abused and hit. And hopefully I can like learn further about this. I do want to get into school and for occupational therapy, but honestly, I have to enjoy the journey of getting there if I do want to get there, and if I do want to be there. And eventually, this is just me like kind of coming in terms with like myself. And a lot of people have different outlets on how to express themselves, and this is just, I guess, the only outlet that I kind of have, because all the other outlets that I've had, like art, reading, what else, going out, they're kind of not working for me anymore. And I'm in a different era in my life where these things aren't working anymore. So I have to find a new way to express all this energy. And by the way, it's finals week, so anyone who is in college watching this, good luck on your finals, and you can do this. I can do this. I don't know what else to say other than it's tough out here. It's fucking tough out here, and it's hard being a first generation girl, first generation woman, because it's like I feel like I'm constantly going against the grain, and it feels like I'm constantly going against everything that my past ancestors have lived. It's going against everything that the past women in my life have done. everything that I'm doing, it just doesn't, I don't know. Like, it feels right. It feels right when I'm doing, like, I know in my heart, like, this is what I should be doing, and it actually has been helping, and I can actually start seeing the beauty in the world. Like, I can start seeing the trees. I can start seeing how the wind just flows in the trees, and the birds chirping, and people living their lives. And it's insane because when I was younger, like, I would remember looking at the trees, but then feeling so engulfed by everything around me, all the abuse and all the lies and all the hatred and all the confusion would swallow me. And I remember I would just look up at a tree, this one tree that I used to have in my old house, and just kind of wish that I was like on top of that tree. Or sometimes I wish I was just that tree, you know, just standing still, and, you know, the wind moving you back and forth, and you're just there, like, you're just sitting there growing and taking the light. That's why I love the Tree of Life. I have some earrings at a Tree of Life, and one time my mom bought me this one necklace of Tree of Life. So I clearly like trees. I do love trees. They're amazing. They give us the air that we breathe. And I guess another thing I want to talk about is religion and God. And I grew up Catholic, and, you know, I've had moments in my life where I pray to God, I pray, and it actually shows up in many ways. Like, you know, I prayed one time for a scholarship because I was kind of stressing about how I was gonna pay for college. And I'm praying, and I prayed that night, you know, being like, God, I really want a scholarship. I really don't know how I'm gonna pay for college. Can you help me out? And then the next day I wake up and I get an email saying that I got a scholarship from Wells Fargo. Oh, what? Wells Fargo. Like, oh my God. And I was just like, this is insane. This is insane. And when I moved out of my mom's house, I moved out very quickly, in a rush, in a hurry, because I was scared my mom was gonna fucking keep me there forever. She wasn't gonna let me escape. No. She was gonna, she was gonna be like, what do you mean you're moving out? Like, absolutely not. And I was scared, and I fucking packed up all my shit in one night. I got my cats. I fucking left. And I remember just being so lost in those moments. I was extremely lost and confused, and there was moments that I didn't know where I was going. There was moments, and well, I still feel like that sometimes, but those moments, it felt like nothing was real, and that just basically various existential crisis, you know, questions that were raising my head were like, what's the point? I'm like, what's the point in all of this? I'm like, what am I even doing? Like, what am I even fucking doing in this world? Like, what's the point in all of this? Like, what is the meaning? And I asked myself these questions when I was like 10 years old. 10-year-old little me was already asking, what's the purpose? Like, why am I even here? Like, why was I brought into this world? And I'm still trying to figure that out. And I have seen a couple ways that God has shown me that I do have a purpose in this world. I am a registered behavior technician, and I've been able to like pour into somebody else and actually use my knowledge to help others, and that makes me feel fulfilled. And it's just that in other areas of my life, like my relationships and not having my my friend just texted me. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry because my friend just texted me about, you know, that it's hard because it's Mother's Day. And I don't talk to my mom. I actually thought about reaching out to my mom earlier, and I said, I was gonna send her a message like, Happy Mother's Day, you're not perfect, but I still love you. And I was like, why am I gonna give her that? Why am I gonna give her that? Why am I gonna give her that? Like, why am I gonna give her those words, those beautiful words, when she literally does not deserve them? And it sounds so cruel, because growing up Mexican, it was like, don't disrespect your parents. You're not allowed to disrespect your parents. Like, you can't have an opinion about them. They're your parents. You must honor them and value them, no matter if they're cruel humans. And as I remember, I was talking to this person, relating it back to them. They were saying that, you know, they're not perfect. They're not perfect. They're not perfect. You know, they're not perfect. Like, they're human too. But my argument is, they're not perfect, and they're human too. But they have the ability and the capacity to change their behavior and realize that their way of living actually is harming more than helping. You know, harming themselves and harming others around them. And now that we have technology, we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have so many fucking tools. We have books, we have mentors, coaches, therapists, all these fucking tools to help us grow. And it's like, what is your excuse? What is the excuse of my mom and my dad? Yeah, their excuse is, I was raised like this. I can't change my ways. And it's like, okay, if you can't change your ways and you can't be different, then I'm leaving. I'm leaving. And that is the hardest fucking part ever. Oh, and another thing. I just ended my 5-year relationship. I watched this one YouTuber. Her name is Lena Lips. She's so amazing. She inspires me so much. But I just ended my 5-year relationship about 3 weeks ago. And I had realized, oh yeah, back to Lena Lips. She mentioned this really, really beautiful thing about saying that, like, that, you know, she had just left her narcissistic dad. I had just left my narcissistic mom. And she was like, I still have to heal so much from that relationship. She's like, how am I going to heal when I'm in another toxic relationship? I'm just going to, like, she was basically saying that you know how it's not fair in her healing journey, and it's not fair for that other person. And like, literally, those words stuck to me, and it's like, it's very fucking true. It's like, sorry, I'm mocosa. I don't have any tissues. Let me see. I see tissue. I'm gonna use that tissue. Okay, Hold up. Let me clean my nose. Okay. Ooh. I'm doing like a, what's her name? The Wizard Liz type of style video. Just talking and shit. And unedited, raw content. Yeah. So, anyways, what was I saying? I was saying I ended that relationship, and it's true. It's like I just left my narcissistic mom, and I'm going to repeat those same fucking patterns that my mom was giving me. And I'm gonna be looking and accepting stuff from my past partner, because that's all I've ever known. That's all I've ever known. That's all I will ever know, unless I can start pouring back into myself and just loving myself, you know. And my therapist was telling me, she was like, you know how a lot of people say you must love yourself before you can love somebody else, and she said it's some aspects is true, but we don't truly have to love ourselves fully to love somebody else. We can love in so many different ways. You know, we have love for our families, we have love for our siblings, we have love for our pets, we have love for nature. Like, there is love everywhere. It doesn't just have to be love and relationships. It can be love in other aspects as well. Love for school, love for learning, love for knowledge, love for the sky, technology, love for water, love for coffee, tea, pastries, food, music. There is so much love out there, and I think love is a beautiful thing. It's the best human emotion ever. And even though I've been harmed a lot by people that I love, I don't think it has affected my way of loving. Just kidding. It has affected my way of loving. It has affected my way of loving, actually. It has affected my way of loving. Because, you know, I've had moments where I'm like, I can't trust no one ever. I can't trust no one ever. But I'm not gonna let that stop me. Even if I can't trust no one ever again, I can trust myself to do stuff. I can trust myself to keep going. I can trust myself to continue and showing up and enjoying the harsh waves of life, and just living in it. I'm living in it. You just gotta keep on living. 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 But yeah, like, honestly, that is everything that is going on in my world. Everything that's going on in my present world is this. I don't talk to my parents. Left a 5-year relationship. I am lost. But for some reason, I still feel hope. I still feel hope, and I think it's God. I think it's God telling me that I gotta keep going, and that I am loved, even if I stop, even if I failed, even if I don't become an occupational therapist, even if I don't graduate from college. Like, I am still exactly where I need to be. I'm exactly who I need to be. Lost and confused and a mess, but I've seen that's very common for people in their 20s. So it's like, it's all about development, and I'm developing, and I'm developing in a different way than any other woman in my past. So I guess I gotta get through today, gotta live today, and just how I lived yesterday, and today is a new day, and I can, you know, be myself and experience different things and do different things. So yeah, peace, bye.